Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be doing our weekly market analysis, and I think today at this point you've noticed that a lot of people have been talking about the market crashing, or they're questioning, is it crashing? What we are going to see today is a lot of stagnation. Not exactly that doesn't exactly mean that the market's crashing whatsoever. I think we're going to see the market's actually pretty healthy. um but yeah, guys, before we get to it, don't forget, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. And if you do see the button there, press the hype button. Everything helps the channel out. I'm very grateful. We'll be at 1K real soon. And also, I am a little under the weather. I don't know if you can actually tell, but I hope it doesn't bug anybody. But with that being said, let's get to it. So, yeah, we'll start off with Mega Evolution. And like I said before, you'll see a lot of stagnation on some of the products, but you'll also notice that a lot of it is specifically on TCG Player, because TCG Player, if we're being honest, for the most part, is probably the most expensive platform. It kind of leads the charge when it comes to market price, and for that reason, it's always ahead and higher in value. So, or at least prices, I mean, higher in prices. Mega Evolution has now set its home somewhere at around 320. It was at like 315 a few days ago. We're at 322 now. That is the enhanced box. Looking at the non-enhanced box, it is coming up behind it at $302. It's staying right behind. It's kind of what I expected to happen when it came to joining together enhanced and non-enhanced. I always felt the enhanced should be ahead of the non-enhanced, since it has something extra to offer as opposed to just a regular box. But that's where we're at the very moment. We will have to see what the market will do when that second wave of allocations comes into these LGSs and maybe big box stores. We don't exactly know where they're going to end up or how much there is out there, but we'll have to see what it does when it hits the market. It may lower that price and make it even more affordable for others. I know there are people out there looking for cases that aren't at exactly $2,000. They want it more in the 1,500 to 1,600 range. We'll have to see what happens. So if we look on eBay, we'll see boxes here. I was a little scrolled down here, but 315, 337 here. This looks like this still is the enhanced box, even though it just has this cover on it. 320, 214 here, but this has no feedback at all, so I wouldn't even trust this listing. 310 here. The ETBs are selling pretty well as well. This was a package of, a bundle of $100 each. Not bad in my opinion, for where the market stands at this moment. $350 on this box. 384 with $46 shipping from the UK. That's insane. That's like a $430 box. Completely unnecessary. I don't know why some of these purchases are actually made, but it is what it is. We'll have to just keep rolling with the punches. $300 with $15 deliveries here. This box is, it just has so much demand. It's being bought left and right. We saw that on the chart. I made a video about it yesterday. This box really surprised me. It's doing really, really well. The set looks really, really good. People are enjoying opening the box. Market is really showing that with all these buys. Moving forward, we'll look at the PC ETBs that are actually performing pretty well. As always, all the PC ETBs do well, but specifically these are at already $274 when it comes to the Lucario one, and the Gardevoir is a little behind at like $230, I believe. 245, sorry, 245. It has really fell behind a little bit behind the Lucario, but still decent at just after release. 244 is pretty good. But the promos in there, I thought that people would appreciate the Alakazam promo a little more. But it seems like they're sticking with the Lucario one at this moment. That Riolo promo is pretty damn good too. I'm not gonna lie. I like them both. I just thought Alakazam had a bigger fan base. I could be totally wrong. This is all speculation. I can't speak up for everyone and say who they like better. But they're both really popular Pokemon, both really cool. And at the moment, the Lucario one is being valued just a bit higher. Blackbolt and White Flare, they just keep staying kind of at the same price. They've been at that 85 to 90 range for the Blackbolt. It's hit 90 a few times, and it always seems to come back down to 85. We'll have to see what it does, but it keeps moving around at that price. I'm surprised that a specialty set like Blackbolt and White Flare haven't taken off a little more, just because this is as far as you're going to go when it comes to a booster box. You're not going to get any closer to a booster box than the ETB itself. Of course, the Pokemon Center ETBs are much more valuable, but still, you're not getting any closer to a booster box other than the ETB for a specialty set. And You know, even though there are cards that are being bought out within both of these sets, the ETBs are still staying around the same price. The white flare is up to $81 now. It's usually around like 78, 79, but not much of a difference there. It's not $3 ain't much. But yeah, just surprised that it's still staying there. I thought people would have a little more belief in this product long term, but we'll have to see what happens in the next few weeks. Maybe it'll change. Maybe a few months down the line when these are much more scarce, people will start reacting to it differently. Next, Destined Rivals. And this is where you'll see there's a lot of talk of Destined Rivals crashing or stagnation. In reality, this buyout here really made it seem like it was crashing somewhat because it dropped all the way down to $423 market. But in reality, if this buyout did not happen, this would have just had the same organic growth, and it probably would be exactly where it's at right now. Or maybe just a little cheaper, but it would still have that organic growth. It still would have hit $400. If we're being honest with ourselves, we know that it was going to hit $400. There's speculation that this box is going to hit $500 by the end of the year, and so we'll have to see if that is a real thing, if that really happens. But Destined Rivals is the best set in Scarlet and Violet, at least when it comes to the main boxes. And we knew that this box was going to get to this point at like some point. It was going to get there at some point. And even though it looks like it's been stagnating a little bit, when it comes to value, more boxes just keep hitting the market. We're not dropping below 200. It's been like that for a little while. Even as they keep selling, they keep listing. So we'll have to see where that goes. If we look on eBay, we'll see the same thing. The box just keeps moving. Destined Rivals high demand as well. What do we got here? $480 right here. That's a tremendous sale. One here for $435 plus $20 shipping. That's $455. Once again, above market. Two boxes so far above market. Yeah, demand is high. They could just easily go to TCG Player and buy it there, but they're still buying it here for above market, and that's where it's going. $279. Yeah, I don't even know how accurate this is. There's 100% positive feedback. I'm not sure. It's only 4 reviews though, so I don't know if we should trust that. But there's a lot of this product just moving. 315 here with 83% positive feedback. That's not great. But there's just a lot going. Like, you have to scroll down so much just to find booster boxes because all Destined Rivals products are moving. This is not trustworthy either. 220. Maybe it is. This one has much more feedback. It has 46 reviews and it's at 220. That would be an insane steal if that was a real sale. $450 here on this one. 342 here. Steals if they're actually happening, because eBay is a little funny, as we know. They're not as transparent with showing their sales. And you see the same listing popped up again at 220. I don't know if that's accurate, but nonetheless, Destined Rivals is doing really well. So moving on. Journey Together is a box that I have brought up so many times because I feel like hype and word of mouth has basically destroyed the image of this box. This box is so much better than what people are portraying it to be. And the box has had the best organic growth out of any product in the SV era, aside from, not even like, this is the only box that's been getting really, really trashed aside from Stellar Crown. And it has had upward trajectory the whole way across. It is now at $262. How many people I've heard say that it shouldn't be going above 240, but the market is speaking for itself. The market now has this at $262. Most recently sold at $275, and the box is going to keep going. If you look at the lowest listed, we have one here at $250 with $15 delivery, which is $265. And there's a few more sales at $265, listings. And then after that, it just jumps to $270, $275, and then we start hitting that $280 mark on the first page. It's the last listing on the first page, and we're already at $280. This box is going to keep moving. Now, if you were in my Discord, even though it's relatively new, I did point out the case for Journey Together was much cheaper than what each booster box was being valued at. The funny thing is that they were selling them for like $1,400, which was cheaper than 6 individual booster boxes. And we already know there's usually a sealed premium on top of what 6 booster boxes are worth. And it looks like the market for a second there was a little behind, and there were some good prices on those booster box cases, but they're gone now. They're gone. You could have taken advantage of that a few days ago, but they're not here anymore. This is the non-enhanced, and it is at $256 market price. Most recently sold was $265. Lowest listed is $265 with shipping here. Yeah, the other one is going to keep moving as well. As long as sales keep happening, this box will keep moving. If we look on eBay, here we go. Yesterday, just as of yesterday, the enhanced box sold for 255. There's one here for 200 and basically $80, 240 with $12 delivery. It's right there at that 250. Is going to keep going to that 250 and 260 range. You have here 250 plus $12 delivery. You have one here at 275. You have another here at 280, 270, 260 plus basically $10 delivery. That's 270. Yeah, guys, like I said, this box is going to keep moving. Here, there's one here at $191. I don't know how accurate this is, but it seems like this one has pretty good reviews here, 36K reviews, and they're all 100% feedback. So $190 at this current market is a steal. That's insane. That's $200 with shipping. That's pretty crazy. 255 here with $12 shipping, 240 here with $10 on bids. Yeah, this box is gonna keep moving up. It's gonna keep creeping under everybody's nose while they keep trashing the box. It'll keep gaining value, and then some guys will regret not buying the box when it was much more affordable, just like they've done in the past. But yeah, let's keep moving forward. Prismatic Evolutions has corrected a bit, and which is fine. Market price is 136. It was up to like 100, almost 140. It says 135 here, but there were definitely some sales upwards of 140. You can see it right here. Most recently sold $140. Yeah, more product keeps hitting the market. We're at 2,700 ETBs on the market, and in the last 3 months, 3,147 have sold. This box is just moving. We already know Prismatic. People are really bullish on Prismatic. They believe in it. The market is really strong behind Prismatic. And of course, it's a great set. Once again, possibility of a god pack of a $4,000+ pack. It'll drive the box by itself. That alone will do it. If we look on eBay and we cross-reference here, we'll see more sales. This is the Pokemon Center ETB, sold for almost $500 with $50 shipping. That is insane. I don't know what happened here. It says $0. We're going to ignore that. Another Pokemon Center ETB at 458 plus $50 shipping. Here we have a regular ETB from the UK at $196 with almost, well, $29 shipping. That's insane. That's like $220 for a regular ETB. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever right there, but people will do what they'll do. Bids here in the US for $150. That is another regular ETB. We do have the combo pack here for $150 if this was a sale, because it has 0% positive feedback. I don't know what this is right here. Looks a little funny, but if somebody bought this bundle for $150, I would say it's a steal. It's under market for the booster bundle and under market for the ETB. A little while ago, this was the only thing that you should have been buying. If you were going in on Prismatic, you should have been buying this bundle and nothing else. But now it's kind of corrected, and it's actually more expensive than it was a few weeks ago, and it's not really a steal anymore. $150 on bids, $365 for the Pokemon Center one here with bids and $18 delivery. Yeah, this box is moving, man. This is all today, October 5th. This thing is just selling like wildfire. It's going crazy. And it's so funny because you consistently you're hearing it. The Pokemon Center, Pokemon is stagnating overall and it's crashing, and it's just not true. The thing is that you're not seeing all the sales on TCG Player. TCG Player isn't the only platform that people sell or buy products. And if you keep looking on TCG Player and TCG Player only, you will not be aware that the products are still moving, and maybe people will kind of twist the thoughts in your mind and sway your opinions or your ideas and make you believe that the Pokemon market is actually crashing when it's not. The Prismatic Evolutions Super Premium Collection, top tier product for Prismatic, in my opinion, even more than the regular ETB. The only thing that's being valued higher than that right now is the Pokemon Center ETB, and we really don't know what they're going to do long term, but I have more confidence in this product right here. This product is the ultimate product. It's got a great playmat. It has the 15 packs. It's got the promo in there. Great top tier product for Prismatic Evolutions, just like the 151 UPC. This is not one to ignore. If you were able to get your hands on it, great. Pretty awesome if you were able to get a lot of these in your collection. I know some people are trying to stack up as much as these as they can, and sometimes you can find deals, whether it's on Facebook or maybe eBay. But when I was looking on eBay, it wasn't really, you didn't find any deals. That's exactly why I don't even have it. I don't have eBay pulled up for it here. No deals there. Surging Sparks. Surging Sparks has now corrected to $291 market. And last week, if you guys were aware, I did point out that this box is safe from buyouts because there was over 1,000 boxes listed, but at the time there was only 1,076 boxes listed, if I remember correctly, which I'm pretty sure I do. And boxes they're still selling. And even though they're selling, now we have more than we did last week. And of course, now that the box was reaching $300, sellers are going to list it knowing that if they undercut the other prices, they're going to sell automatically, and they're just more comfortable making sales. We have a $265 here plus $15 shipping, $280 plus $5 shipping. I mean, once again, when they reach a price point, they will lower price, list it, make the realize their gains, and now we have a lower market price because of it. But I think, of course, Surging Sparks is the second best booster box in the Scarlet and Violet era. This is not one to look past. If anything, this is a moment for you to buy Surging Sparks before it goes up in value again. Most of this stagnation is just a step up. It's usually just a step up, like you see in the charts here. There's always a dip. There's always some kind of a connection, correction before it takes off again. And it seems to do this every single time. If you're used to dealing with stocks, this happens often. But Pokemon is obviously not just like stocks because they don't just keep coming out of nowhere, right? This is a product that at some point you will run out of, and it'll become even more valuable. And this is another set that people are going to be upset they didn't buy more of. Surging Sparks is a great set. Next, Stellar Crown. Stellar Crown, for some reason, is now at $273. In the last few days, in the last almost week, there has been no movement, no sales whatsoever on Stellar Crown. And I did not bother looking on eBay for this one either because I don't believe in Stellar Crown. I don't even think it should be worth $273. I know it's going out of rotation. I know the Squirtle has gone up in price a little bit, but aside from that, there's nothing else that has been pushing upward to get this box at $273. In my opinion, it is probably one of the weakest sets in the Scarlet and Violet era. Hands down, it's the next thing right above Shroud of Fable. In all honesty, it's below Temporal, it's below Paradox Rift. But yeah, not such a great box, but it's at $273. If you want it, I guess you could still buy it at $273 before it's $300, just because it's going out of rotation. But I'm not bullish on this box in particular. Of course, long term it will do well, but it'll take a lot of time for it to do that. Twilight Masquerade, top 3 or top 4 in the Scarlet and Violet era. Another great box. This box has been like a freight train the whole year. You look at the year, it's just insane. This box has been nonstop upward, going upward, gaining value. It is now at $330 market. Great box. That Greninja will do well long term. It's a beautiful card. I know some people complain about the art on it. It could have been a little bit better, but it is still a great set. The Eevee there is really, it does really well. The Growlithe does really well. The connecting cards in there. There's other cards in there that people just don't look at. They ignore. They go right to the Greninja. They ignore all the other cards in there. But this is a pretty good set, I would say. Long term, it's going to do pretty well. Now, looking on eBay, you'll see the same thing. You're going to see this set selling over and over, whether it's the booster box or not. It's just constant sales of this set in particular. Ignore that September 25th one there, but October 5th here. Of course, these are the ones that we're seeing now. A lot of Twilight Masquerade selling. Product is still moving. The market is still bullish. $337 here, plus $34 delivery from the UK. We have another one here at $340 plus $12 delivery within the United States. Yeah, product is still moving. Look at all these ETBs just being sold, people buying. And it's what you should be doing right now. This is the most affordable it's been in months, probably close to a year. The ETBs below $70 for good sets, that's rare these days. And right now, Twilight Masquerade, I think, is the only good set where the ETB is below $70 because of the massive reprints it's had, and it's a great time to buy that in particular. $340 here with another booster box sale, $390 right here. That $340, by the way, was on bids. $390 here, another booster box. Yeah, this great set. People will believe in this set, and it will do well long term. The market's really bullish on this set as well. $340 again. It's a great box. Once again, the market is not crashing whatsoever. Temporal Forces, another box that doesn't get much hype behind it, right? And it's almost at $260. It's $259 market. Most recently sold at $267. People are starting to buy this box. A box that's been pretty underrated in my opinion. It has some pretty good art, some pretty cool cards in there, and I think it's been looked over a little much, maybe a little too much. But we'll have to see what the market does going forward. We have the next listings. The next listings are 200. Lowest listed is 293. 293. Oh my goodness. The bottom of the first page is at $295. This box is going to start taking off real soon. If the more sales, that happen, this box will continue to take off. Temporal Forces will be at least $300 by the end of the year, probably well before that. But once again, it doesn't get talked up too much, so it won't really move that quickly. And right now, like I said, on TCG Player, because the prices take these big leaps, right? If market is 259 and the lowest listed is 293, it's gonna throw people off. They're not gonna want to buy. Uh, these big leaps make it look like the market is crashing or it's stagnating, but then people go and they look elsewhere. They go to the LGSs, they go to the eBay store, they go to Facebook Marketplace, and they'll find better deals, but they will keep buying. It's just that these big leaps they're hard to get around. Uh, Paldean Fates, the regular Elite Trainer box, sitting at $291. It has finally started to correct after that insane upward movement that it's been having. But once again, $291. Lowest listed at 285, basically 287, right around market price. This box will keep selling. A little more has shown up on the market. Once again, when we get to this price point, like $300, people want to realize gains. They will start listing their products. I mean, it's not a bad idea, right? If you bought this ETB for $50 and you have it and it's now worth $300 and you want to realize gains, it's a great time. It's a great time in the hype market to sell, just as it is a great time to buy, right? The Pokemon Center ETB has done the same exact thing and has corrected over the past few weeks. It is now sitting at $490. Most recently sold at $430. Another box, right? Reaches $500. Great time to realize gains. Lowest listed at $435 plus $10 shipping. Of course, we didn't have these prices on here as of a few weeks ago. They were all upwards of like $500. You see that right there? $500, $494. This box was going crazy a few weeks ago, but now people just start listing. We reached $500. It's a great time to sell. And if we look on eBay, we'll find some prices that are similar and cheaper or even more. eBay is like the wild, wild west almost, right? It's $471 with one bid on it, 30 basically $9 shipping from the UK, making this a over $500 box, which is insane when you can buy it on TCG Player for less. The regular box at $270 below market on bids, another $270 here on bids, but with $25 shipping, basically market. Yeah, the market's still buying, guys. Don't be fooled. The market is not crashing. We're gonna enter the holidays, and Pokemon's still gonna be really, really hot. Phantasmal Flames is gonna drop. All that product is gonna get released into the wild, whether it's at Walmart or GameStop. It's just everything's gonna start dropping once again. It's every 2 months we're gonna get it. 215 here with $40 from the UK. That's a great buy. That's about $255 there. Great buy right there. 264 here with $12 shipping. Below market again. Below market right here at 265 plus $15 delivery. Yeah, this is all today, guys. October 5th. All these sales are today. The market is not slowing down. People are just spending money elsewhere that isn't TCG Player. That's all it is. And of course, once again, sometimes all people do is look on TCG Player, and that's really the mistake people make. You have to look elsewhere. You have to look here. You have to look on eBay. You have to go to your LGS's maybe Instagram page if they post all their prices there. And you got to look on Facebook Marketplace and work out deals with people. This is part of the hobby. You making buys and sales. It's part of that. It's part of negotiating. Paradox Rift. Of course, Paradox Rift got bought out. It, of course, was going to correct itself down from $400 as the lowest last sale on that date. We are at $318. Most recently sold was $282. We have a whole bunch of sales at that price and below that as of the last week. This box is just not worth that value. It definitely shouldn't be there, but it got bought out, and so yeah, it had to correct itself. That was just undeniable. It was going to happen. Next, the 151 Elite Trainer Box has also found some stabilization, some stagnation on TCG Player and stagnated a few dollars, but someone still bought 16 of them yesterday, which is insane. 16 of them is about $5,000 worth or more, actually. That's more than that, actually. What am I talking about? That's like $8,000 worth of ETBs, 151 ETBs, which is insane. great buys for them. Long term, it should do pretty well. It's really expensive though. I'm not gonna lie. For an ETB, it's really expensive. It doesn't merit the pack per price, but it is a sealed item, and of course, it's 151, right? And if we look on eBay, cross reference, we'll see buys somewhere close to that. One here at 381 with 13 bids. That's basically $400. That's 390. It's $400 basically for an ETB. They're insane. Here we have a Pokemon Center ETB and a regular ETB sold for $1450. $1,450. That's big money right there for 2 ETBs. Once again, the market's real bullish on these products. They're just going to keep buying. This is all today, guys. Once again, October 5th, October 5th, October 5th, October 5th. These are big buys. Paying $400 for an ETB, these are big buys. Really telling you what the market is feeling right now when it comes to the Pokemon market. And you'll see most of the time, most of these buys are right at $400, right at market. And yeah, it's selling. It's moving. $400, $385 here with $9 delivery. Once again, $395 with $8 delivery here, $9 delivery there. This is a UPC that sold on bids for $1,175. What is that about? That makes absolutely no sense right there. Unless there's more than one item that went out with this, it's not being shown right here. That's insane. That is insane. All right, so we'll move on to the next one, which is the 151 UPC, which we were looking at there, which is insane. It's not worth $1,175. Market is sitting at $621, and it finally has found some correction in the last week. Once again, it's just a really, really high price point. People have to feel comfortable with it, and we'll see where we go from there. So now if we look on eBay, we see the 151 UPCs. At some points, you're finding deals. $575 here. This is a case, which I rarely see this pop up on eBay or anywhere else. A case which has 4 of them in the box, sold for $2,900. This thing basically has a, like, what was the market? 621, 621, 240, 2. Wow. Yeah. This is about a like $400 to $500 premium on this sealed case, which is insane. I understand how rare this is, but that's insane because one day you're going to want to move them, and that premium is not going to be a part of you moving these individually. That's a lot. I'd rather buy them separate. $650 here, $600 again, $650, $630. You're seeing prices just at market, above market. We only saw one below market when it came to the 151 UPC. Once again, product is moving. This market is so bullish right now. Here's another one we saw below market at $589. This is $610 plus $20 delivery. Yeah, guys. We are not slowing down at the moment. It looks like it. Maybe prices are stagnating, but sales are continuing across the board. So don't be fooled. Next, what is this? No thanks. No survey. Now we're at the Obsidian Flames booster box, and it is $332 market. It's still trending upward slowly but surely. It will eventually find some kind of stagnation at some point, but whenever you see sales here, you'll see that the listings just keep increasing rapidly, which will continue to push up this box if there are sales, unless they lower their prices. But I don't see them lowering out their prices, be that it's a Charizard set, and it will be rotating out next year. Next, Paldea Evolved. Paldea Evolved seemed like it was going to break that $500 ceiling, and it did not. It started to correct itself. It's kind of flattening out a little bit right now. It's at $474, $2 down from its all-time high of $476. Most recently sold at $451. And yeah, this box it's a great set, man. It's a great set, but once again, we're getting to $500. People will list. People will list. You have listings here from 452, 470 sold, 470, 464, 460 here. This box just is doing so well, honestly. There's 134 listed on the market because just more boxes keep appearing as we keep hitting these higher price points, as I keep mentioning, because it looks deceiving to see a certain amount of boxes here. And as we keep climbing in prices, you'll start seeing more and more boxes appear on TCG Player because people are comfortable selling at some of these insane prices. So if you look at the next lowest listed, we have 425, but There's no reviews on this seller, so $425 plus the $8 shipping. But then you have $550 plus $10 shipping, and you have $455 plus $10 shipping. Once again, it will drop the price down a little more. It'll look like it's correcting more because people are listing below market, knowing they're going to sell. And that's just what it is. It's a great time to sell. As I pointed out before, you will realize gains in this market. I mean, it's the time to do it. You're always waiting for a hype market for you to do this. You're not going to sell in a bear market. $500 on eBay today as well. $450 plus $10 shipping. $450 again plus another $10 shipping. $470. Let's see, what else do we have? And on top of that, the ETBs, I haven't been talking about them much, but they've also been climbing for Paldea Evolved. Every Paldea Evolved product has been climbing. $456 here with $6.50 shipping. Let's see, what else do we have here? I know I saw a lot more in the last week. $600 here. This guy has 12.6K positive reviews, and it's all 100% reviews. $600 sale. That's crazy for that box. But once again, people are incredibly bullish on Pokemon right now, and I know TCG player looks a little deceiving. $465 plus $12 delivery here. $450 plus another $9 delivery. Right, pretty close to what market is right now because it's heading downward with those lower listings. But Paldea Evolved, one of the stronger sets in the Scarlet and Violet era, probably top 3. It's definitely got more cards to offer than Twilight Masquerade does. It just doesn't have an SIR chase, which also makes it look like it's a weaker set, but it does have a lot to offer. There's so much within Paldea Evolved, so many illustrations. Long term, it's probably going to do better than Twilight Masquerade if I really, really want to give my opinion on it. The Pokemon that are in this set are going to be nostalgic to a lot of people in the long term. Next, Scarlet and Violet base. Scarlet and Violet base has corrected. It was at $247. It is now at $245. Once again, as always, one of the best base set booster boxes of all time, right? And it's at $245. It's pretty cheap compared to all the other booster boxes in the era. Of course, it's the cheapest one, but it's not a bad thing, right? We don't need this thing to be $300. It's still a decently priced box. There are 381 listed on the site, and it's going to do pretty well long term. It's a great booster box. It just doesn't have enough as like the other sets do, but it's decent. It's still moving. We're still seeing sales here, and yeah, it's not really slowing down that much, to be honest. Now that we're entering Sword and Shield, I did want to point out the ultra premium collection for Sword and Shield. I usually don't really talk about it every week, but I did want to mention it this week. It's now reached a high of $435. That is an all-time high. A few days ago it was at $437. It's basically still right there. And of course, once again, once it reaches this high, we're going to see some stagnation. It makes it hard for people to buy at these new price points, but a pretty good amount of them were bought a few days ago that pushed this price up. There was 26 items sold. Pushed this price up to 435 market, and lowest listed is above that market price. And as you keep going, you get to almost $460 on the first page. So once again, as always, it's gonna take the market to some time to accept these prices. It's not that simple for you to list something that's well above market, or at least well above what they're used to, because we know price memory is a thing, and it'll make it that much harder for somebody to pull the trigger. So next, Crown Zenith, of course, one of the greatest sets ever made, but was printed to the ground. And I think that's really what's holding this box back a little. People don't feel that comfortable spending $220 over and over again on a box they were so used to seeing for like $40 last year. But I think that's really what you could say. You could say that about any set. You know, there was Paldea Evolved in the wild for $80. So to say that really doesn't make any sense in this market, but market right now is $220. The box is selling just as not as much as I think it should be selling for. Crown Zenith has so many good cards in it, so many legendary Pokemon, so many popular Pokemon. The set's just so good. There aren't many sets like Crown Zenith out there. So I'm really surprised it hasn't really taken off even more than wherever it is now. We do have a case of ETBs that sold for $2,850. So it would be $2,200 just raw ETBs. We have a $650 premium on this box, which is insane. Great for this person to have this box, so it's pretty cool to have a full case of this set. It's just so good, but that premium is pretty nasty. Next, we have here the Pokemon Center ETB that I do see very often selling at $532 plus $50 shipping from the UK. We have another one down here at $424 plus $8 shipping. The regular ECB here is at $220, basically at market. $200 here on bids plus $7 delivery, a little below market, not too much though. We have another one here from the UK at $525 plus $42 shipping. I mean, I keep seeing this box sell for $440 at least to $500, which is insane. Like I said, realizing gains in this high market is probably one of the greatest feelings. And there's so many people buying right now where people are so bullish that they're buying at these prices. $230 here for the regular ETB plus $7 shipping. We have another one here at $210 plus $12 shipping. Yeah, product is moving. This is just October 3rd. October 3rd, the past few days, product is still moving no matter how stagnant the market looks on TCG Player. Everything's moving. Market looks pretty damn healthy in my opinion. Silver Tempest, one of the box that had a decent buyout here that didn't leave anything below $550 available, with market sitting at $485, makes it really hard for sellers to make sales because their listings are just above 550. But since then, there have been some other listings that have appeared. We see one here at $500 with $12 shipping, and we see one here at $525. But for a good while, there was nothing listed below $500. And if we look at the most recently sold, they had to lower their prices. And I brought this up before. If they didn't lower their prices, it was going to make it really hard for them to sell any of these boxes because that was just too high of a price in comparison to market. You know, when there's such a big discrepancy, so many more people are going to find a reason why they don't feel comfortable to buy these boxes. But you see the most recently sold at $465, another one at $465 before that, and 3 at $450 before that. So yeah, they had to lower their prices. If not, it was going to be much, much harder to move this box. And now when we cross-reference on eBay, we did see some sales here. $372 plus $14 delivery from Canada, which is an insane steal. We have one at $400, just one bid, $12 delivery, well below market. Again, we have another one here with an accepted offer. Hopefully, this was a pretty nice offer that they got at like $450. I could not find this one. I was looking for it on 130 points, so I could not find it. I don't know if it was a change in currency or whatever it may be, but I could not find it. I did try $482 here on bids with $8 delivery. Once again, pretty. This is above market, right? For some reason, I keep thinking of the boxes above because I never saw anything below 550. But yeah, it's right at market. Basically, it's above it with delivery. One price that I would be trying to stay away from, knowing that at this moment, sellers are going to kind of be forced to list at lower prices than market just because of that big jump up. $575 here is an insane sale. I can't believe that it sold for that much. $550 here as well, almost $70 above market. $515 here as well. It does look like a really clean box. $515 with $14 delivery. $540 with 34 bids, $26 delivery on that one. Yeah, boxes are selling. I mean, even above market, even with prices that I don't feel like are right at the moment because they're above market, people are still buying. Just the confidence, just how bullish people are on Pokemon at the moment. It's going to continue. Lost Origin, another box that has definitely stagnated after all these boxes got bought out a few days ago or a few weeks ago, actually. And we've been sitting at that 809 to like 815 range for a little while now. And once again, it seems as if the box is stagnating, right? It makes it seem like Pokemon is stagnating. But you go to eBay, you start finding sales, whether they're deals or not is besides the point. You have one here at $750, great steal. You have another one here at $975 though, with $80 shipping from Australia, way above market, over $1,000 for this box, but it's selling, and this is today. Another one here at $750 with $25 shipping. You had another one down here at $670 with 68 bids with $9 delivery. An amazing steal right there. But product is moving, guys. This is just ETBs, collection boxes. Lost Origin is moving left and right, whether it's booster boxes or not. Product is just flying off the shelves. $750 here from the UK just 2 days ago. $725 plus $25 delivery. A price that people are much more comfortable with, because once again, when all those boxes were bought, everything below $800 was bought up, and you were left with almost $900 boxes, but market was like 809, which I already knew people were not going to want to buy. It didn't make sense. The discrepancy was too large. Next, we're going to be looking at Pokemon Go. And now, so Pokemon Go did make its way onto the list because Pokemon Go has been on the rise for the last few weeks, almost the last month actually. It's come from 80 something dollars up to $96. Most recently sold was $9.99, $100. And you'll see that across the board here. There's a lot of basically $100 sales for Pokemon Go. Now that people are starting to realize there's less and less available on the market, there are only 48 ETBs listed on TCG Player. And not only that, the Pokemon Center ETB has also been on the rise. Last I saw it was like 140, I remember. But down here it was at 124, and it has now climbed up to $155. Most recently sold at 198. Lowest listed here is what, 173 plus $4 shipping. So $177 is the lowest listed. Most recently sold was 198. I don't know why. That sounds off. But we have other sales here at 155, 150, 178, 158, 163. Of course, they're going to be much more affordable than that most recently sold. But yeah, these two products, both the regular Pokemon Go ETB and the Pokemon Center one, are moving. Next, Astral Radiance has had some upward trajectory. Not too many sales in the last couple of weeks, but the sales have had some decent jumps that have pushed the box back over $405. This box has had some trouble getting back over $400. Whether the goal was to get this box over 400 with those last few sales, I don't know what it may be, but this box it's just not moving like the others. It doesn't have the hype behind it. Nobody talks about it. People don't talk about the cards in it. They don't love this set as much as they like Silver Tempest or Brilliant Stars. Those are the two sets that are getting the most shine now when it comes to the mid-tier sets in Sword and Shield, and this box hasn't really moved too much as opposed for the last month, but this is like, there's no sales here. You have barely any sales across the last month, and Astral Radiance has not been looking so great in the last month. One of the few things that hasn't been moving too much in Pokemon. Brilliant Stars, up to $546 market. Most recently sold at $525. Yeah, you see here, listed average is $677 on TCG Player. This box is going to continue climbing. This is an insane box. It's got a lot of hype behind it. Lowest listed is $560. It will keep climbing. Brilliant. Even looking on eBay, right? We cross-reference to eBay, and we see, look at Destined Rivals. It's so high, it pops up on your Brilliant Stars booster box search. But on eBay, it's still selling, but you will find some sales. $455 plus $9 delivery. Of course, bids is where it's at when you're trying to get a steal. $248 here. One feedback. I don't know how accurate this will be right here. It's just one person, one feedback on that one, and it sold for way below, like less than half market. $545 on bids from Probestein with $14 shipping, above market, if anything, or right at it. $520 here plus $8 delivery. $530 here plus $6 delivery. A pretty nice buy right there. The box looks pretty good. It's in its little protection, and I thought these were booster boxes, but they're not. $550 plus $7 shipping. Yeah, this box is still moving right at market, and you find some steals. They come far and few in between, but I do stress patience. When you come on eBay, you can find some really cool steals. You could refresh tomorrow. You could refresh in an hour, and somebody listed a box that you could afford or is below market and you're happy with. That's $455 plus $9 delivery on bids there. Yeah, that's what I'd be looking for. I wouldn't just buy recklessly. $600 here though. $600. I'm surprised somebody bought this at $600. The box looks decent, unless it goes with, it's going with the acrylic. That's why the acrylic does add $30 on top. So it's $570 basically for the box. That's not bad. But yeah, once again, Pokemon is not crashing. It is not whatsoever. Prices may be stagnating, but sales continue. Fusion Strike, of course, Fusion Strike had an immense year here. And even on TCG Player, it's still selling. And even though it isn't there aren't that many sales. It doesn't really matter when the box costs over $1,000. It's always harder to pull the trigger. You could buy three or four of the other boxes with what you paid for on this box, and that's why you'll see fewer sales. Of course, it's kind of remedial to even repeat that to you guys, but sometimes you have to say it because sometimes people claim that the Pokemon market is crashing when it is not. Now, when we go off to eBay and we find boxes on here, which I found a few in the last few days, $995 as of today, $5 below 1,000. That's $1,000 right there. Yeah, Fusion Strike even at $1,000 keeps shipping. Yesterday, $1,000, $8 delivery. What else did we have yesterday? Did we have any more yesterday? I thought I saw a few more boxes piled up on top of each other. It might have been on the third, but there's so much moving on Fusion Strike. All these collection boxes you're seeing me scroll by, people are just moving Fusion Strike. It's insane. Two Evolving Skies sold here on eBay. We don't know the price. I tried to find the price for this as well, but I couldn't find it. Here we see another box sold on the third for $1,000. And if we go to the second page, we'll see even more on the third. I know I saw more. Where are they? Here we go. Sorry, these were on the second. I saw them back to back like this. These were best accepted offers. For some reason, that 130-point website that gives you the confirmed best offered accepted sales, it wasn't functioning properly. So that's why exactly why I'm not bringing it up. But we do have boxes that are worth $1,000 still selling. $915 here with bids, $12 delivery, a nice steal. This box has been selling for $1,000 for a few weeks now. Another one here at $986 plus $12 delivery. Yeah, product is still moving. It's looking real healthy. Things are looking good for Pokemon still. Box is still selling for over $900 on Fusion Strike. Kind of really says a lot right there. Willing to spend the trigger, pull the trigger on 900 plus is a lot. Next, we're going to be looking at Evolving Skies, of course. Evolving Skies, market price now at $2,590. Another one, a box that's up over $2,000 has still sold over the past few days, even reaching at that insane price point. I keep hearing people on social media all the time that they're still trying to buy more Evolving Skies. We have a sale here at $2,275 plus $14 delivery on bids. This is a really nice box with the acrylic. Not bad right there. Great gains for that person right there. He probably loved selling that right there. Another one here, best accepted offer. You can't imagine that it's gone too far below $2,500 with $13 delivery. Another Evolving Skies that sold, when was that? Today. That's two boxes already today that we've seen sold. Where else? Let's see what else we've seen here. Because it's pretty crazy for people to try to say that the market is slowing down, but you have boxes upwards of $2,000 still selling. $2,650 yesterday on bids with $10 delivery. Pretty insane right there. Once again, just insane buys. Like 2,600. That's crazy. A lot of money being spent. A lot of money still pouring into Pokemon. I just find it hilarious that people are mentioning that the market is crashing. The Chilling Reign booster box has been stagnating for some time now. Another box that once it got to this price point, market really slowed down at I think it was at like 576. There you go. It was. It is now at $570. What will happen with this box really will determine what the rest of the year will look like in the next coming weeks. I think market is slowing down on this box, but sellers are not. They're still listing these boxes pretty high. If we look at lowest listed, where's lowest listed? Where is it? Right here, 551, a little below market. But once again, you go a few down and you already start climbing right at market price. And you go to the next page, you'll see much uglier numbers when it comes to the Chilling Reign booster box. But it is a great set. And it is, of course, out of print in Sword and Shield. But it just makes it that much harder, once again, as always, to pull the trigger on something that just keeps gaining value. And I think people are really holding on to capital for when Phantasmal Flames drops and whatever else is in store when it comes to this mega era. I think that people are really going to hold their money as well for the holidays. Maybe they can find some deals. I don't think it's really this is really indicative of what's going to happen in the next coming months. I think people are really holding their money, just sitting on the sidelines, waiting for an opportunity. I don't know what this sale is. As a matter of fact, the color on this box look a little weird. I don't know what this was. This looks like a fake box. So we're going to ignore that sale right there. As we keep scrolling, I know I saw, there you go. You see how much brighter this box is than that other one? It looked a little off. It looked funny. $516 here, $540, $14 delivery. And once again, you saw on TCG Player that yesterday there were no sales. In the last 3 days, October 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, there were no sales on TCG Player. But on eBay, there were 560, 540, 540 again on the 4th just yesterday, 550 again plus $10 delivery yesterday as well. Once again, TCG Player is just one platform where you could sell or buy, and it doesn't show you all the other sales. You have $653 here plus $45 delivery from the UK, which is absolutely absurd. I don't understand why you would do that, but you do you. $462 plus $26 delivery from Australia. Once again, boxes are moving. Pokemon market looks really healthy. $550 from right here in the US. This was just on the 3rd. All these sales aren't going to show up on TCG Player, of course, and it makes it look like it's stagnating or the market is crashing or things are drying up, but it's not. Nothing's happening. Last but not least, Battle Styles hasn't really had much movement in the past few weeks. Once it hit $288, and it's really been staying there for a little while. But I think that it's earned its spot right there. It doesn't really need to be more expensive. This was a box that wasn't really desired, and it has reached a price point where I think it should be at least in my opinion. And so yeah, guys, that'll be it for this video. Once again, as always, like, comment, subscribe. I hope you guys found some value here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay safe out there. Oops. Peace.